Let's be honest, sitting on someone's face theoretically sounds hot. But when you're actually in the moment, you're sitting there on top thinking, oh my God, am I too heavy? Am I doing this right? Am I overlooking? Is my belly too big? What does my body look like? How can I do this? And just like that pleasure disappears. You're meant to be sitting on top, enjoying yourself in your body, feeling all the eroticism, but instead, you're in your head. This video isn't just about how to sit on his face. By the end of this video, you are going to build that confidence. You're going to feel actually in your body and in the pleasurable experience, not in your head. Because the biggest thing that ruins this whole experience, it's not your technique, it's your insecurity taking over the moment. And the biggest insecurity loop that we go through sitting on top is like, oh my God, I'm being seen, I'm being visible, like every part of me and it is being exposed. And so many women go into this experience thinking, am I too heavy? Am I crushing him down there? Or should I be looking a certain way? But the truth is, if he's inviting you to sit on his face, he wants you there. And my role in this is actually helping you feel good when you're sitting on top of his face. Hi gorgeous, I'm Katie here at the School of Sensuality, and I help you undo those uncomfortable, weird, taboo topics about what goes on under the sheets and behind closed doors in the bedroom. The School of Sensuality is here for you to feel comfortable, to feel confident, and to have endless pleasure. And by the end of this video, you are sure going to have that and more. The real shift I want you to notice is going from how do I look to what do I feel? So when you're sitting on top of him, you don't actually need to be performing. You just want to be as relaxed as you can be. Obviously, you're still holding yourself up, and I'm going to go into different positions that are going to support this process. But you shouldn't be there thinking like, oh, I really need to give him a show. He has got enough going on down there already. We don't need to add anything extra that's outside of us because we think that we need to perform. Instead, I just want you to feel pleasure. You don't need to move a certain way. You don't need to get it perfect. And you definitely don't need to be looking a certain way. Instead, I want you to calm your mind by taking long, deep breaths. If you are racing in your mind with all those thoughts and all those insecurities and being self-conscious, your body is going to be switching off and you're not actually be going to feeling any pleasure. So when you're sitting on top, the first things that I want you to do is just focus on your breath. How am I breathing right now? Is my mind racing? Is my chest racing and pumping? Or am I doing long, slow breaths? Because the longer and slower and deeper breaths, you are going to be connecting with your body, which is going to be leading to more orgasms. And just remember, as you're going through this whole process, it's meant to be messy. As you're sitting there, as you're breathing, as you're feeling your pleasure, I want you to think about being in connection with your own body and what you're feeling, not a dance choreography that you need to be moving your Shakira hips. We don't need that, girls. So when you do start thinking, am I too heavy? This is just a fear coming up. Maybe you're putting too much pressure on yourself and it's not actually a flaw, it's just part of the experience. You can adjust to make yourself feel more comfortable, but never assume that you're too much. A lot of women say that sitting on top really can be quite intimidating with the eye contact, because if you're looking down, so what I suggest is looking forward, or even better, closing down your eyes. So when you've got your eyes closed, your mind is calm, you're really connected with your breath, bringing all the awareness down to that part of your body so you can, it's kind of like that mind-muscle connection. So you're thinking about this part of yourself, where that pleasure is, that's where the pleasure is going to grow from. Because if you're actually sitting on top of in your head or looking elsewhere and not actually present, you won't feel as much pleasure as you possibly can. And I know this is really vulnerable and potentially quite intimidating, but what is it that you're actually afraid of? And so what stories are actually going on in your mind? I'd really love to hear from you. So pop it in the comments, what stories are going on in your mind when you're sitting on top? And then I can just be more specific for you and what you're actually feeling and then help you through that process. The School of Sensuality is here for you, gorgeous. So don't be shy and you can ask anything that you want. So now I'm going to just share with you some positions that's actually going to help, because a lot of the time the anxiety comes from like, where do I sit? Where do I put my hands? How much weight do I put on him? And what do I actually do with my body? And so here are a few ways to approach it. So my loves, we have our lovely man and his mouth here. Ideally, you've already had the conversations that you maybe feel a little bit uncomfortable, and how we can support you in this pleasurable moment that you are going into. So when we're obviously sitting on his face, we want to be sitting on his mouth. We don't want to be suffocating him, and we don't want to be, sitting on his eyes. His chest is going to be very, very useful during this part of fun. So the first position I suggest for you here, if you do feel a little bit insecure or heavy, is coming into the position into a squat. So you can either come from standing up into lowering yourself down, and here you're actually taking the control in your own legs. You're not dropping your weight onto him just yet. Of course, you want to be angling the position of his mouth onto your flower so we can meet him in that. Maybe you need to shimmy yourself forward a little bit and come into this squat position. You have control. Here the weight is in your legs and you're able to move in whatever direction you need. So you can come forward if his tongue's out, and you can even go side to side to get more pleasure on the clitoris. If you want, you can also place your hands on the back of the bed head to give a little bit of support. Remember, you are here for your pleasure, so you can maneuver yourself in any angle you need at the time. The second position, we are going to come into a kneeling position over him. Ideally, you can bend your feet so your bum is sitting onto your heels. You've got the ability to support yourself with the bed head, and you have less pressure in your legs, but there's more gravity in your body, so you're actually connecting more to your pleasure. We can sit here like this. If you feel a bit intimidating looking at him, you can always close down your eyes. Remember what I said. Take a couple of long, deep breaths, breathing in, breathing out, and then maybe look at him. Give him a little bit of a wink, tell him how much you love what he is doing. The second position, this is where we get more comfortable. You're really going to sink into him. I suggest placing your hands behind and leaning backwards. This is one of the most orgasmic positions. You are looking at him in the eyes. He is looking at you as he's pleasuring you. If your arms get a little bit tight, you can always come back to the bed head. This is where the chest becomes important because you can use his chest here as you're sitting back on him. And if you desire, you can bring some circles into your hips, making sure his tongue and his lips are going in the right angle. And you can also bring a back and forth movement. This is for your own pleasure, not to perform. I want you to make sure that you are just breathing, that you're feeling the energy rise in your body, and you actually feel really connected to the moment and to your partner. We're not here just to perform. So there we go, my loves. You can find the position that means more for you and makes you more comfortable. As long as you are feeling the connection, feeling the pleasure, these are the positions that you want to explore. Have fun, gorgeous. Each position isn't just physical, it's also emotional as well. Because if you are leaning in a lot more deeper, you may have those, am I too heavy? Am I hurting his neck? Am I pushing myself too much onto him? But can you just trust that he's going to communicate what he wants and what he needs in that moment? And even if you want to have a little bit more communication before, you can just say to him, it's like, oh, so babe, when I'm sitting on top, I get a little bit uncomfortable. Can you just let me know what really feels good for you too? And just bringing it in with a bit of playfulness and flirtatious. So then you're actually waking up more fun in the experience and not just pressure, thinking, oh my God, I have to do this perfect. I have to get this right. You're not actually learning how to sit on his body. You're learning how to feel confident, comfortable and alive in your own body and pleasure whilst you're being seen in your most erotic, vulnerable state. And this does bring up confidence issues for many women as you're looking down. You know, is my tummy too big? Are my boobs symmetrical? Where am I looking? Is my chin too fat? All these stories are going around in your head. So if body image issues or body confidence is something that you're really struggling with, inside the School of Sensuality, inside Patreon, this is one of the hot topics. So I really teach you step by step on calming your mind and all the stories that are going on up here, and actually how to build confidence in your body, first with clothes on, and then gently with clothes off. I teach you and help you step by step, no matter where you're at in your confidence journey, to help you build that confidence in yourself first. And then sitting on top makes it so much more easeful. Because by this point, you know that you're there for your pleasure and not just what you look like. I really want to reiterate, your internal confidence and how you feel about yourself reflects so much in the bedroom. If you're coming into the bedroom hiding, fearful, anxious, feeling insecure or self-conscious, he is going to feel that, and you're probably not going to receive as much pleasure as you would like. So supporting yourself is great because you're watching these videos because it shows you want to learn, but actually I'd support yourself in taking that extra little step to feel more confident. So when you look down, you think, oh my God, I'm having so much pleasure and this is so hot and horny, over, oh my God, am I doing this right? Is my tummy too big and what do I look like? You don't want to be thinking about that. I just want you to be having more pleasure. So maybe that's you. Maybe you want to build that confidence when no one else is watching. You can do that straight inside the School of Sensuality, and I'll pop all those links below. Gorgeous. By now, hopefully you will stop judging yourself and just start feeling and enjoying yourself. If the only thing that you take away from this video is how can I feel more when I'm sitting on top over what do I look like, you have ticked the box. We can only grow from here. I just want you to be feeling this pleasure in a shared experience. You're allowed to adjust yourself, you're allowed to move your hips, you're allowed to get comfortable as many times as you want. So a little bit of a recap in that, how can you calm your mind, focus on your breath, relax in your internal state, notice what stories are coming up in your mind, allow yourself to ask questions, gradually outside of the bedroom build your own confidence, and get comfortable in the positions that make you feel at ease. Don't go and throw yourself into the deep end straight away. You want to enjoy. See you in the next video, girls.